Oh. Hey. You, come here often? I didn't see you there. I, didn't know you'd be on the committee for me to defend my dissertation on. Well, since you're here, I might as well start, huh? Well, now that I'm in something a little bit more comfortable, why don't we talk about my presentation, which is the ghastly similarities between Shadow the Hedgehog and Neon Genesis Evangelion. I'm not apologizing for this. So before I talk about the ghastly similarities between Shadow the Hedgehog and Neon Genesis Evangelion, I need to talk about Gastly. As you can see, Gastly has these absolutely based out of space stats and evolves at level 25 into Haunter, and then again, if you trade it, then it turns into Gengar, which, here you go. So Pokedex number 92 has been in it for a long time, the tried and true ghost Pokemon of Generation 1. Gastly in all of its forms have been in the game since Generation 1, and they come with Levitate, which makes it immune to one of the only common typings in the game, besides Psychic, that can kill it. There are no other ghost Pokemon in the game, and Dark-type didn't come around until Gen 2 yet, so fuck you. That was just a joke. There are no abilities in Gen 1, it's like you weren't even paying attention. Come on. Now, pay attention to the following because that was my intro to this dissertation, because I know I don't need to introduce you to Shadow the Hedgehog, and I know I sure as hell don't need to introduce you to Neon Genesis Evangelion, but I feel like I need an introduction for formality, and also to pad for time because I know that the committee dictates that I spend at least 5 minutes talking about this, and the more I talk about it, the more my brain hurts. So without further ado, let's get right into Shadow. Wonderful. So, Shadow, much like everything else that's been artificially created, is a groomed life form. Depending on the context of some of these arguments, we could be talking about how Shadow plays the role of both Shinji and the Evangelion units. The games that I'm including in this analogy are Shadow Adventure Battle 2, Shadow Heroes, Shadow the Hedgehog, and Shadow 06. You're probably wondering how I came up with the idea for this presentation. And to do that, I spent decades studying the ancient arts, specifically Hakuna Matata. No, not the song from The Lion King, but the erotic fanfiction that was made a month ago. As you can see, this features the very popular ships of Sonic and Amy, Tails and Cosmo, Knuckles and Tikal, and Shadow and Rouge. You can see that not only are they all straight, but this is nearly 13,000 words, and they all have their ship names included in the description, which I think is fucking hilarious. You know, you're probably wondering who the fuck Cosmo is, right? And Cosmo is none other than the inventor of cocaine from the Sonic X anime, Cosmo the Seedrian. This character is so influential and created such an amazing drug that they named space after her. So now that the committee has convened, have we made a decision on whether or not I am Dr. Octavian? No? Well, now that I am physically inserted into my own dissertation, we will continue because apparently you need more convincing. So let's talk about Shadow's best game, Shadow the Hedgehog, which I recently played a bit of on my stream. In this game, you have 3 paths. The first one is the evil path, where you have to do whatever the big alien says. This is usually just activating things throughout the level or killing enough gun soldiers or robots. It's pretty tedious. Next, you have the neutral endings, which is usually just get to the ending as quickly as possible. And the last one, which I never thought I'd say this, the good side is with the CIA. Yeah. With this dynamic storytelling mechanic, based on how you beat each level, Shadow, much like Evangelion, has no plot worth explaining in this well over 5-minute presentation that I've prepared. I'm hyphenating things to save time. Next slide. Let's talk again about the good ending, which I think is horseshit, because if you fill up the good meter, you get to skip the rest of the level. This is much like how Evangelion skipped out on animating the last 2 episodes of their TV series. And if you fill up the bad ending, you get to hang out with aliens. But we all know that that's horseshit because there's only ever been one alien life form that's ever been confirmed. That's right, Jiren the motherfucker. So now we get to talk about the most influential line in Neon Genesis Evangelion, which is get in the robot, which is kind of strange because we've been talking about how Eggman's job is literally to put animals into robots. Does that sound familiar? If you've ever seen me speedrun Sonic Adventure on my stream, which I do all the time, you will notice Gamma here, who is infamous for being an animal put inside a robot. Just a quick thing. Can I get a quick F? Yeah, there we go. Got a quick F in the presentation for Gamma, and now I will cover him. No more F for Gamma. Paid too many respects. I've lost too many runs on Gamma to deserve my respect, so no more F. This is the only fact I will defend in the entire presentation. So if you had the internet adapter for the Sega Dreamcast back in like 2001, what it got you was the first instance of DLC ever. You didn't have to pay for it, but basically they gave out Christmas skins that were like battle suits, basically, for any of the battle modes you could apply to the characters and whatnot. Now, before I show you it, just think about what could I possibly be connecting this to? That's right, motherfucker. They're plug suits. They're plug suits. They've been plug suits all... So about the gun. I know everyone's wondering about the gun. Sonic didn't feel right with the gun. They killed off Gamma, their only character with a gun from Sonic Adventure 1. And the first stage is called Westopolis, and it's never used in another game ever. Probably because it gets destroyed. But it gets... Come on. So you're probably wondering, is this just an attempt to appeal to a Western audience because of all of these things that I've just mentioned? And the answer to that is, no. This is in line with Evangelion canon. For some reason, all of them have guns, and there are multiple episodes about giant guns, even though they are super fighting robots. Next slide. Much like Evangelion, Shadow the Hedgehog has amazing music, and much like Evangelion and Shadow the Hedgehog's music, you should never underestimate them, just like my insane collection of Evangelion shirts. So what you're hearing right now is... Oh, no, sorry. Wrong song. That was for another video. So what you're hearing right now is the main theme for Shadow the Hedgehog. These are some of the lyrics from the theme song called Almost Dead. You have no more gods, no more graves, are you friend or fiend? Does this remind you of something? That's right, motherfuckers, it's the end of Evangelion. Now I'm drinking tea. So this is the end of my dissertation. I'm positive that I'm well over the 5 minutes that the committee has imposed, so we're just going to end it at that. Oh, but one last thing. Shadow, much like Kaoru, will compliment your cock if they deem it worthy of their praise. Thank you for watching this video. This was a part of a series of the annual presentation parties that my friends have. We recently did our last one in the Discord server, even though we usually get together once a year to do this. Obviously, we couldn't get together for reasons, but this was the presentation I had put together, and I wanted to add a bit more flair and a bit more fun to it, and I got to show off all of my Evangelion merch. I got to mix a game that I recently played that I find horrible, and one of my favorite TV shows. It was a lot of fun. If anybody would like the basic guidelines that we've been using and kind of honing in for how we do our presentations, I will have all of that written out and like the rules basically in the description. Thank you to all my contributors. I know this wasn't a board game video or a video game video really, but I just wanted to have fun with this one. So I hope you appreciated it, and I'll see you in the next video.